Have you ever been in a situation where everything feels like it's going great, and then boom, that little voice in your head pops up and
Yeah.
tries to trip you up?
Oh, definitely.
Or maybe you're just trying to focus on something really important, and suddenly, your mind's replaying some conversation from yesterday or worrying about next week.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Well, that inner dialogue, the one we often don't even notice,
Yeah.
it's shaping so much of your experience, whether you're like about to sink a crucial putt or just trying to get through your workday.
Right.
So today we're taking a deep dive into that really powerful internal conversation you're having with yourself, like every single moment.
And our source material for this, it's from a really fascinating chapter called How to Talk to Yourself. What's surprising is how it pulls these incredible insights from, well, professional golf.
Yeah. Wow. Golf?
Yeah. But the implications for just everyday mental toughness, they're universal, really profound.
So what's the goal then? What are we trying to do here?
Our mission, really, for this deep dive is to unpack these strategies, to help you restructure your thinking. The goal, well, better performance, less stress, and, ultimately just getting more control over those automatic, sometimes kind of self-destructive thought patterns we all fall into.
Okay, I'm in. Let's start with something you mentioned from golf, a kind of counterintuitive idea from David Ferret,
Yeah.
a European and PGA Tour player.
Yeah, this one's great. He pointed out that the world's #1 tennis player spends like 90% of their time winning points.
Makes sense. They hit winners, force errors.
Right, but the world's #1 golfer, they spend 90% of their time, wait for it, losing shots. Against par, against the field average, whatever metric, they're losing more often than winning on a shot-by-shot basis.
Wow, 90% losing.
Yeah.
That really flips the script. So golf basically forces you to be resilient.
Exactly. You just have to be a great loser, in a way, to succeed. It builds that muscle.
That's striking. And it kind of helps frame the story of Tom Reiskopf you mentioned. Senior PGA Tour player, known for his temper back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Notoriously temperamental in the 70s. He even said himself, looking back, that whenever he played well, he'd start thinking something bad was bound to happen. A real self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yikes. So what changed?
Well, something profound shifted. After he won the 1995 U.S. Senior Open, he talked about this total transformation in his thinking. He said, and this is amazing, "I've never played better. I never got mad. I never lost concentration. I never thought about the next shot. And I immediately forgot about the last shot."
Whoa. That's a complete 180 from self-sabotage to just pure presence.
Total mental overhaul.
And that reminds me of Harvey Penick, the legendary instructor. He talked about bad breaks, didn't he?
He did. He said, sure, capitalize on your good breaks, absolutely. But you cannot let bad breaks poison your attitude.
And here's the kicker. He said what really causes the bleeding, that spiraling negativity that just drains you.
Yeah.
It isn't the bad break itself. It's what's happening in your head in those 5 or 10 minutes between the shots.
Ah, the gap.
Yeah. Like often you're thinking way too far ahead, maybe fantasizing about the great big fat check, as he put it, instead of just focusing on the next shot.
That applies to everything, doesn't it? It's not the unexpected email that ruins your day.
Right. It's the 5 minutes you spend stewing over it before you actually deal with it.
Exactly. Golf and life, really, it's
Wow.
played in the present, stroke by stroke, moment by moment.
So the goal is to wash your mind clean between actions.
That's the phrase used, wash your mind clean. Free yourself from the last mistake or the next fantasy. If you're a professional, maybe it's clearing your head between client meetings.
Or hitting the mental reset between study sessions if you're a student.
Precisely.
And, it's worth pointing out, these aren't just golf tips. These procedures, they're basically what clinical psychologists call cognitive behavior therapy, right? CBT.
Essentially, yes, it's a toolkit, helps you spot and change those unhelpful thinking patterns and behaviors, moving from just reacting automatically to conscious control.
Which brings us to Jack Nicklaus. He had a great quote about this.
He did. Powerful one. Correct thinking, plus a measure of self-control, will not only tame tension, but actually make it work for you. It's about harnessing that energy.
Okay, so how do we actually build that champion's mindset, whether we're on the course or, in the office?
A huge part of it, according to our source, is developing consistent, effective routines.
Routines, okay, not just physical ones.
No, crucially, mental strategies, too.
Yeah.
Incorporate it into your pre-action, your during action, and your post-action sequences. The whole idea is to create present focus.
How does that work?
You're consciously narrowing your attention, moving from like broad information gathering down to a very specific target, all while using effective self-talk.
And this starts before you even, say, swing the club or start the task.
Absolutely. Strategic thinking begins beforehand, developing a game plan, knowing what you're going to do, where you want to place the ball, or your focus.
So, like, if you're tackling a new project at work,
Ask colleagues for insights, maybe. Focus on the objectives you want to hit, not just the problems you want to avoid. And if it's something you've done before, mentally rehearse it the day before. Use your past successes as a guide. Visualize it.
what about that idea of a swing key? Like, one thought that's working. Nicholas and Johnny Miller talked about that.
Yeah, Miller's acronym, wood works only one day. It's brilliant.
Because it often disappears the next day.
Exactly. So the point is, when you find something that's working today, whether it's a feeling or a specific thought, you settle on that one thing and stick with it for the whole round or the whole task. No searching for new keys midstream.
Just commit to what's working now.
Right. Tom Watson said something similar. He knew he was playing his best when he was not thinking of very many things. Maybe not even a specific swing thought, just focusing on what the shot required.
Pure focus.
And Bobby Jones added that great piece of wisdom. After taking your stance, there should be no room for worry. Just focus on the success you anticipate. Block everything else out.
So from the moment your routine starts, whether it's golf or a presentation, it's about that positive single focus.
That's the ideal.
But how do these thoughts get so automatic? Like a default setting we can't escape?
Well, neurophysiology gives us some clues. Thoughts aren't just abstract things. They're, in a way, physical structures of learning. Our nervous system, all those billions of neurons, they create pathways. When we think, have images, these neurons fire and communicate incredibly fast, forming predictable patterns.
Like flipping a light switch.
Exactly like that. You flip the switch, current flows, light comes on. Our thinking follows set styles, often triggered by things in our environment. So becoming aware of what triggers the helpful thoughts versus the hindering ones, that's the absolute first step to getting control.
And brain research actually shows this stuff physically.
It does. It's fascinating. Scientists can literally see, using scans like PET scans, how different mood states change brain activity. Like they saw specific patterns of glucose use in the brains of depressed people that weren't there in non-depressed people. And get this. When they asked non-depressed people to just think negatively, that same specific brain activity pattern started showing up.
So just thinking differently changes your brain chemistry.
That's the incredible takeaway. Cognitive therapy, just changing thoughts, can physically change brain chemistry and reduce symptoms of things like OCD or depression. It's not just talk, it's rewiring.
Okay, so let's connect that back to worry, that nagging, anxious feeling about the future.
Right. Our source describes worry as more than just a feeling. It's physically rooted in your brain as a neurochemical pattern or a cluster. Specific brain circuits light up, like a physical footprint.
Triggered by our environment, you said.
Triggered by conditions, yeah, which gives us a handle on it, something tangible to work with. Bobby Jones had that great line calling worry a fear of the future, which is pointless.
We've all been there, right? Spiraling over something that hasn't even happened.
And this science gives us a real, solid reason to try and break that cycle. It's a physical pattern we can disrupt.
And these thought habits, good or bad, they're mostly automatic.
Over 99% of our daily behaviors, according to the source, just automatic. Like a golf swing is cued by internal thoughts, feelings, and external things. The lie, the target.
Our daily actions are driven the same way.
Yeah.
By these pre-wired thought habits.
Largely, yes. From how you react in traffic to how you approach your morning coffee. It's mostly automatic pilot based on these ingrained habits.
Let's talk specifics. You mentioned Bill Rogers, the British Open champ who struggled later.
Yeah, tough stretch for him in '88, made only 3 cuts in 15 tournaments. And he reflected on it, saying his motivation became shallow and prideful. He was constantly asking, how am I stacking up? What do people think?
Focusing outward, not inward.
Exactly. Clearly hindered him. But then you look at Nick Faldo winning the '92 British Open. He said he wasn't stopping his search for perfection. He was just not being so hard on himself when he didn't achieve it. That's a massive shift, isn't it? From harsh self-criticism to, well, self-compassion.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
And these aren't just pro golfer problems, right? We see these patterns daily.
Oh, absolutely. Do you ever wake up and immediately your brain zooms in on family problems, work difficulties, all the things that feel overwhelming?
Guilty.
Or maybe you anticipate disapproval from others, worry about bills. These thoughts, if we don't catch them and restructure them, they create negative moods, sap our concentration, and lead to poor performance. On the course, in the office, just trying to get through the day.
It's so true. And when you look at top athletes, when they're really in the zone, peak performance, they describe similar things, don't they?
Consistently. Things like 100% concentration, total relaxation, complete confidence, feeling like things are moving in slow motion.
Total control.
Yeah, void of random thoughts, not bringing life issues into the event, doing it for enjoyment, taking full responsibility for errors.
And following a routine, always the routine.
Right. Now, that one about assuming full responsibility for errors, it's interesting.
So?
Well, our source strongly believes in it, aligns with that value. But it points out a contradiction. Some great players were apparently advised by other great players, don't ever let it be your fault.
Why? What was the thinking there?
The worry was that taking full responsibility could actually make your confidence fade. So it raises this tricky question about the line between ownership and destructive self-blame.
Yeah, because it's easy to rationalize, isn't it? Oh, the greens were bad today, or my boss is just impossible.
Exactly. The key, though, seems to be always bringing it back to your own routine, your fundamentals, the things you can control, rather than blaming external factors.
That makes sense. But underlying all these peak performance traits, concentration, confidence, control, it all comes back to our thinking, doesn't it?
Ultimately, yes. Thinking is the foundation. And if you want to change a behavior, any behavior, you're talking about literally rerouting the circuitry of your nervous system.
Rewiring the brain.
And how do you do that? Through extensive practice or repetition. Your thoughts aren't just fleeting things, they're ingrained physical structures, but you can change them.
So let's talk about those negative thought themes. Where do they come from?
Often learned in childhood, the source suggests. They can show up as complaints, judgments, criticisms, which then spiral into frustration, anger, even depression.
Like a cycle.
Exactly. There's a story about Gary Player apparently leaving a room if he heard any negativity at all. He just wouldn't tolerate it.
Oh, strict.
But the goal is becoming less judgmental of others, which in turn helps you worry less about how others see you. That's a big step towards inner peace.
Okay, so how do we start taking active control? What's the first step?
The first step is awareness. Our source calls it thought tracking.
Thought tracking, okay.
It's about becoming aware of your thought patterns as chains. You know, one thought triggers the next, which triggers the next.
Like dominoes.
Precisely. You can track them, maybe in a simple diary. Ask yourself critical questions. Is this thought chain helping me or hindering me? Does it make me feel calm or nervous? How does it affect my performance, my mood?
And look for themes. Like, am I generally confident or pessimistic, calm or anxious, focused on now or stuck in the past or future?
Exactly. Identifying those recurring themes is crucial.
So once you're aware of a negative chain, how do you break it?
That brings us to a core technique, thought stopping. It's a cognitive therapy procedure designed to block those purposeless, unhelpful thoughts.
Like what kind of thoughts?
Things like replaying a mistake over and over, worrying about your score or your overall performance, wondering what other people are thinking, or even just random distracting thoughts that pop up when you're trying to focus.
Okay, how does thought stopping work? You mentioned 3 phases.
Yeah, let's walk through it.
Yeah.
Imagine you're caught up thinking about a past mistake, or maybe worrying about a challenge coming up. Phase 1 is a physical reset.
Physical first.
Yes. Step away from the situation if possible. Take a slow, deep diaphragmatic breath in through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth, like twice as long as the inhale. Do a quick body scan for tension and consciously slow down all your physical movements. This helps break the physical tension loop tied to the thought.
Okay, deep breath, slow down. Got it. Phase 2.
Phase 2 is the verbal interrupt. You say to yourself silently, subvocally, a clear, sharp command, something like stop, relax, knock it off, shut up, or be quiet. Choose one that resonates. And as you say relax, really focus on that feeling, slowing your pace even more. It's like hitting a mental circuit breaker.
Stop, relax.
Okay.
And phase 3.
Phase 3 is refocus and visualize success. Once you've interrupted the negative thought and you feel a bit calmer, you actively bring yourself back to the present moment. Notice the sensations around you, feel the tool in your hand, whatever applies. Then confidently tell yourself what you're going to do next. Recall a time you succeeded at something similar. Visualize success for the action you're about to take. Then move deliberately through your routine or your next step. You're consciously building a new positive chain.
That sounds really practical. And there was a real-life example of this Working under pressure.
Yes, an amazing one. Anne-Marie Pauli, LPGA golfer, 1993 Atlantic City ShopRite Classic playoff. She has a 3-foot putt to win.
Wow, pressure.
Huge pressure. And as she stands over the putt, the thought pops into her head, this would be embarrassing if I miss this.
Oh, no.
Right. But she immediately recognized it, stepped back, said, shut up to herself. Her thought-stopping command went through her routine again and sank the putt to win the tournament.
That's incredible. Real-time thought stopping for the win.
Exactly. Shows it works, even under extreme stress.
And this isn't just for golf putts, obviously. You can use this anywhere.
Absolutely. Working on a project and your mind wanders to worries. Stop, relax, refocus on the task. Can't sleep because your brain won't shut off. Visualize a calm scene. Focus on relaxing your body. Interrupt that worry cycle. It's very transferable.
Okay, so thought stopping is one tool. You also mentioned rational dialogue.
Right. Another powerful technique. Think of it as becoming your own internal coach, a really effective one.
How does that one work? Could you use it with thought stopping?
You can use it alongside it or sometimes instead of it, depending on the situation. Step 1, again, is awareness. Recognize the irrational or unhelpful thought popping up.
Awareness first, always.
Always. Step 2 is the relaxation response. Diaphragmatic breathing, slow physical movement, focus on feeling calm until it feels solid. Step 3 is where the internal coaching comes in. Remind yourself actively of the negative consequences if you let this unhelpful thought continue. Like, okay, if I keep thinking this way, nothing changes, I'll stay irritable, my concentration's shot, performance suffers. You challenge the thought directly. Maybe say, come on, you can still salvage this, get back into this next step, forget those setbacks.
So you're reasoning with yourself, basically.
Exactly. And step 4 is actively redirecting. Force your thoughts and mental images towards success for whatever you need to do next. Recall past successes vividly. Use positive imagery. Be an aggressive, supportive coach to yourself. Stop dwelling on that. Play. You're better than this. Get your head back in the game. You've got this next part. Feel it. Focus on your target and perform.
That sounds really empowering, actually, like taking charge of the inner critic.
That's exactly what it is.
And what about that worry appointment strategy? That sounds useful for everyday stuff.
It's a great one for those nagging worries you can't do anything about right now. A bill due next week, a meeting on Monday. If the worry pops up, you tell yourself, okay, I can't deal with this until Monday at 9 a.m. I'll handle it then. Right now, life's too short not to enjoy this moment. I'm taking control and focusing on now.
Creates a boundary for the worry. Parks it somewhere else.
Exactly. Gives you permission to let it go for the time being.
Okay, let's tie this together. Can we walk through that detailed scenario you mentioned, the high-stakes situation?
Yeah, let's do it. Imagine you're in a crucial moment leading a big project, or like in the source example, you're on the 10th tee in golf. You've been deliberately not adding up your score to stay focused.
Right, avoiding the outcome focus.
But then a well-meaning competitor blurts out your score at the turn, and it's amazing. You're 2 strikes lower than your best ever round.
Whoa! Excitement.
Big time. Your thoughts immediately accelerate, picturing this career best performance. But you don't realize your heart's racing, muscles are tensing up.
You're lost in the future result.
Totally. Until someone says, hey, you're up. And you're startled, you rush, grab the wrong tool or club, make a poor choice, and bam, a major setback. Double bogey in the golf example.
Ugh. So now what? The negative chain starts.
Right. As you walk to the next step, the undesired chain might kick in automatically. Okay, I can still recover. That hurt, but I can still make this work. Just need a few pars, a few small wins. But here is where you catch yourself. You realize this isn't helpful thinking.
Okay, so instead of letting that spiral go, you apply the techniques. How does the new chain look, step by step?
Okay, here's the new performance supporting chain. First, you recognize and interrupt. You think, whoa, I was moving way too fast there, focused only on the outcome. Immediately, you stop your physical movement. Take that deep breath, long exhale, regroup. Verbally interrupt inside. Stop. Relax.
Interrupt the physical and mental momentum.
Okay. Second, you reset and refocus. Consciously bring yourself back to the present. Ground yourself. Focus on the immediate task, details the yardage, the target, the specific problem you need to solve right now. Recall a time you successfully handled a similar setback. Feel that confidence. See that image.
Grounding, recalling success. Got it.
Third, you visualize and execute deliberately. Confidently tell yourself exactly what you intend to do now. Describe the successful outcome you want for this one step. Then move through your routine or your process slowly, deliberately. Focus on each small action. Feel the club, feel the keyboard, whatever it is. Maintain that feeling of control and the picture of
So
success.
it's not about memorizing like 21 steps.
No, not at all. It's about understanding the process of a deliberate mental reset. Interrupting the old pattern, building a new present-focused sequence that puts you back in the driver's seat, one small action at a time.
That makes so much sense. It's a skill you build.
Exactly. And crucially, these skills, whether for golf or life, they must be practiced on the range, as the source says, or, practiced in your everyday environment during lower stakes moments.
So you can rely on them when the pressure's really on.
Precisely. Consistent repetition is what rewires the brain. You have to practice it for it to become automatic when it counts.
Okay, let's give you, the listener, a chance to practice. Try these thought-tracking exercises. Scenario 1. You've had a brilliant start to your day or your project. Nailed 3 things early on. You're feeling great, maybe 3 under par, metaphorically speaking. Now you're facing the next task, the 5th hole. What are your immediate thoughts?
Yeah, pause and think. Are those thoughts supporting peak performance? Are they present-focused, calm, supportive? Or are they maybe getting ahead of themselves, focused on maintaining the streak, worrying about messing up?
What kind of conversation should you have with yourself? Applying thought-stopping and rational dialogue.
Ideally, you'd catch any future focus instantly. Interrupt it. Stop. Deep breath. Okay, just stay present. Play this hole one shot at a time. Or tackle this task one step at a time. Keep delivering quality work one action at a time. Stay in the process.
All right, scenario 2. Same situation, you're feeling good after those early wins. But on this 5th task, this 5th hole, you hit a snag. You pull your shot into the trees, metaphorically. Your recovery attempt hits another obstacle, a branch, but maybe lands somewhere slightly better than expected, like on a cart path instead of deep trouble. What are your thoughts now?
Are you stuck on the frustration? Ugh, I ruined my streak. Are you worried about the overall score or outcome? Or are you immediately shifting focus to the current situation? Okay, weird spot, but how do I get this ball back in play? What's the best way to navigate this immediate challenge and get back on the green?
Which focus is going to serve you better?
Well, you just played out about 3/4 of an unbelievable true story. John Houston, PGA Tour, Florida, 1992.
No way. What happened?
Just like our scenario. He birdied 3 of the first 4 holes, feeling great. 5th hole, pulls it left into the trees. Recovery shot hits a branch. Lands on a concrete cart path.
Ouch. Off the concrete.
Instead of dropping it, maybe dealing with tree roots, he showed incredible presence of mind. Assessed the situation. Decided to play the 160-yard shot off the concrete path.
Get out. Did it work?
He hit it onto the green, and then he drained a 30-foot putt for par.
Are you serious? Off the path, onto the green, makes a 30-footer for par.
Yep. And Houston said afterwards, reflecting on that moment, I thought right then that maybe it was my day. That par save, born from managing that difficult moment, shifted his whole mindset.
So what happened in the tournament?
He went on to shoot a final round 62 and won the whole tournament by 3 shots.
Wow. That perfectly illustrates everything we've been talking about. Mental discipline, staying present, turning potential disaster into momentum.
Incredible example, isn't it?
It really is. So this whole deep dive, it just clearly shows how much control you actually have over your inner world. These aren't just, tips for golfers. They're really powerful life strategies.
Absolutely. They can transform your daily experience, help you perform better, feel less stressed, stay focused, no matter what life throws at you.
The key takeaway seems to be awareness and practice.
Be mindful of your thought patterns. Experiment with these techniques, thought stopping, rational dialogue. And remember, repetition, 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 that's what literally rewires your nervous system for more positive, productive outcomes. You're building new mental habits.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you, listening right now? Here's a final provocative thought to chew on. What is one specific thought chain you can identify in your own daily life?
Maybe it's that worry loop you get into every morning, or a frustration about work or family that you revisit constantly.
Identify just one, and then ask yourself, what small step using these techniques will you take to break or redirect that chain starting today?